myself again today. I will not hurt myself again today. Let us this day accept forgiveness as our only function. Let us this day accept forgiveness as our only function. Why should we attack our minds and give them images of pain? Why should we teach them they are powerless when God holds out His power and His love, His power and His love, and bids them take what is already theirs, already theirs. The mind that is made willing to accept God's gifts has been restored to spirit, has been restored to spirit, and extends its freedom and its joy, as is the will of God united with its own. The self which God created cannot sin, and therefore cannot suffer. The self which God created cannot sin, and therefore cannot suffer. Let us choose today that He be our identity. Let us choose today that He be our identity, and thus escape forever from all things the dream of fear appears to offer us. I will not hurt myself again today. I will not hurt myself again today. Father, your Son cannot be hurt. Your Son cannot be hurt. And if we think we suffer, we but fail to know our one identity. We fail to know our one identity we share with you. We would return to it today. We would return to it, to be made free forever from all our mistakes, and to be safe from what we thought we were. I will not hurt myself again today. I will not hurt myself again today. That first sentence says, let us this day accept forgiveness as our only function. That says it all. I will not hurt myself again today. I will not hurt myself again today. I will not hurt myself again today. Well, here I'm sitting out here at Cahokia Mounds. I'm sitting down at the bottom of the mounds this time. Last time I did a recording of the mounds, I was on top of the mound. But this time I'm up here at the bottom. It's the largest man-made structure in North America at the time that Columbus arrived here. Okay, I'm Forgiveness Willie, teaching all us Ozarkians how to practice forgiveness. Tune into your true self, your happiness, the love that you always are, that God made you as. Today our lesson's talking about that. It's lesson 330. We're reading from the Foundation for Inner Peace version of A Course in Miracles. Here on Monday, November the 25th of 2024. I'm kind of sitting off to the side so you can kind of see the mound. Monk Mound or Cahokia Mound. This is the biggest one. Made by just basketful. You can't really tell real well from where I'm sitting how big it is. Anyway, get up on top of it, it's a lot bigger. But anyway, I just thought I'd do it from down here this time. So anyway, I will not hurt myself again today. How do we hurt ourselves? I guess I could take my hat off. Or if I look down, you can still see my eyes a little bit, because I'm going to look down as I'm reading. I will not hurt myself again today. Might be another way of saying it. I've got my umbrella sitting over here in case it starts raining. I was going to stand it up, but I was kind of using it to block the wind, but the wind's changed, trying to blow it away. I may have to take it down or stand it, put it on. I've got a little spike set in. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll just go ahead and set it in. That way, if it does rain, because it's kind of looking like, I don't know, it may not go anywhere. Let's just see what it does. Let me lay my guitar over here on it. Maybe it'll, because it's not raining right now, and if it does rain, well, then we'll readjust. Sorry taking that time there. I will not hurt myself again today. The idea is that if we practice unforgiveness and we hold judgments, we see sin as real, guilt as real, that we're going to be unhappy because we're doing what God doesn't want us to do. So practice forgiveness, which is overlooking the errors that your mind's making. You're the one, you practice forgiveness towards yourself by overlooking what your brother is doing, by telling yourself, what I thought my brother did to me has not even occurred. It's just my own imagination that I'm thinking that I'm being hurt. God's got you covered. You ain't going to be hurt about anything. Let's read through it. I sang it, but let's read through it now. Lesson, like I said, number 330 in the workbook. I will not hurt myself again today. Let us this day accept forgiveness as our only function. Why should we attack our minds and give them images of pain? Why should we teach them they are powerless when God holds out His power and His love and bids them take what is already theirs? The mind that is made willing to accept God's gifts has been restored to spirit and extends its freedom and its joy, as is the will of God united with its own. The self which God created cannot sin, and therefore cannot suffer. Let us choose today that He be our identity, and thus escape forever from all things the dream of fear appears to offer us. Wow, what you want? You want love or fear? You can't have them both, but you can have love because that's who God made you to be. But you got to let go of the fear. Use forgiveness. And tell yourself today, I will not hurt myself again today. Why? Because I'm going to practice forgiveness. Let us this day accept forgiveness as our only function. And the prayer says, Father, your Son cannot be hurt. And if we think we suffer, we but fail to know our one identity we share with you. We would return to it today to be made free forever from all our mistakes and to be saved from what we thought we were. Isn't that what a wonderful encouragement? Be saved from what we thought we were. Be saved from what we thought we were to what we are. You're created in God's image. It's love. Okay, but you can believe that you weren't, and you can create a lot of pain for yourself. But I will not hurt myself again today. Tell yourself that in the morning and in the evening in a longer meditation period, and then every hour of the day. Tell yourself that and ask God for guidance. Find something to give God thanks for when you have those hourly pauses. What is creation? Back a few pages. Number 11, it's our associated reading with this lesson for these 10 days. Creation is the sum of all God's thoughts in number infinite and everywhere without all limits. Only love creates and only like itself. There was no time when all that it created was not there, nor will there be a time when anything that it created suffers any loss. Forever and forever are God's thoughts exactly as they were and as they are, unchanged through time and after time is done. God's thoughts are given all the power that their own Creator has, for He would add to love by its extension. Thus His Son shares in creation and must therefore share in power to create. What God has willed to be forever one will still be one when time is over, and will not be changed throughout the course of time. remaining as it was before the thought of time began. Creation is the opposite of all illusions, for creation is the truth. Creation is the Holy Son of God, for in creation is His will complete in every aspect, making every part container of the whole. Its oneness is forever guaranteed and inviolate, forever held within His holy will, beyond all possibility of harm, of separation, imperfection, and of any spot upon its sinlessness. We are creation, we the sons of God. We seem to be discreet and unaware of our eternal unity with Him, yet back of all our doubts, past all our fears, there still is certainty, for love remains with all its thoughts, its sureness being theirs. God's memory is in our holy minds, which know their oneness and their unity with their Creator. Let our function be only to let this memory return. Let our function be only to let the memory that God made you, that love made you, that He made you as He is, that you are love. Let our function be only to let this memory return, only to let God's will be done on earth, only to be restored to sanity, and to be but as God created us. Our Father calls to us, we hear His voice, and we forgive creation in the name of its Creator, holiness itself, whose holiness His own creation shares, whose holiness is still a part of us. Okay, and then we're also going to look at the Manual for Teachers reading for today, and we're ready for number 2, the ego, the miracle. And I'm just going to move right along. I'm not going to say a lot, but I'd like to go ahead and get her read, like we do every day. The ego, the miracle. And be sure to take with you and tell yourself often today, I will not hurt myself again today. And remember, let that be a reminder, like a little reminder on your dashboard of your car dashboard. A reminder as you tell yourself, I will not hurt myself again today. Let it be a reminder to practice forgiveness and keep yourself forever free of fear and pain and sickness. Even sickness, all those things will become past after we learn to tune ourselves in the way that God created us. Okay, the ego the miracle, hyphen. The ego, the miracle. Illusions will not last. Their death is sure, and this alone is certain in their world. It is the ego's world because of this. What is the ego? But a dream of what you really are, a thought you are apart from your Creator, and a wish to be what He created not. It is a thing of madness, not reality at all. A name for namelessness is all it is, a symbol of impossibility, a choice for options that do not exist. We name it but to help us understand that it is nothing but an ancient thought that what is made has immortality. But what could come of this except a dream, which, like all dreams, can only end in death? Now, this is the Course in Miracles definition of an ego. Other people might have different specific meanings, but let's understand that the ego is the thought that's in opposition to your true self. Capital S self, the one that's one with God, the Christ self. Okay, what is the ego? Paragraph 2 starts. What is the ego? Nothingness, but in a form that seems like something. In a world of form, the ego cannot be denied, for it alone seems real. Yet could God's Son, as He created Him, abide in form or in a world of form? Who asks you to define the ego and explain how it arose can be but he who thinks it real, and seeks by definition to ensure that its elusive nature is concealed behind the words that seem to make it so. Let's read that sentence again. Who asks you to define the ego and explain how it arose can be but he who thinks it real, and seeks by definition to ensure that its elusive nature is concealed behind the words that seem to make it so. Paragraph 3. There is no definition for a lie that serves to make it true, nor can there be a truth that lies conceal effectively. The ego's unreality is not denied by words, nor is its meaning clear, because its nature seems to have a form. Who can define the undefinable? And yet there is an answer even here. 4. We cannot really make a definition for what the ego is, but we can say what it is not. We can't say what it is because it's nothing. But we can say what it is not. And this is shown to us with perfect clarity. It is from this that we deduce all that the ego is. Look at its opposite, and you can see the only answer that is meaningful. Paragraph 5. The ego's opposite in every way, its origin, effect, and consequence, we call a miracle. Okay, now we get the definition of a miracle, the opposite of the ego. And here we find all that is not the ego in this world. Here is the ego's opposite, and here alone we look on what the ego was. For here we see all that it seemed to do, and cause and its effects must still be one. Paragraph 6. Where there was darkness, now we see the light. What is the ego? What the darkness was. Where is the ego? Where the darkness was. So what is the ego? What the darkness was. Where is the ego? Where the darkness was. What is it now, and where can it be found? Nothing and nowhere. Now the light has come. Its opposite has gone without a trace. Where evil was, there now is holiness. What is the ego? What the evil was. Where is the ego? An evil dream that but seemed real while you were dreaming it. Where there was crucifixion, stands God's Son. What is the ego? Who has need to ask? What is the ego? Who has need to seek for an illusion now that dreams are gone? Paragraph 7. What is a miracle? A dream as well. But look at all the aspects of this dream and you will never question any more. Look at the kindly world you see extend before you as you walk in gentleness. Look at the helpers all along the way you travel, happy in the certainty of heaven and the surety of peace. And look an instant too on what you left behind at last and finally passed by. Paragraph 8. This was the ego, all the cruel hate, the need for vengeance and the cries of pain, the fear of dying and the urge to kill, the brotherless illusion and the self that seemed alone in all the universe. This terrible mistake about yourself, the miracle corrects as gently as a loving mother sings her child to rest. That's what the miracle does. It's the opposite of the ego. It's God's reality coming down to sing us to rest. This terrible mistake, belief in sin, the belief in being separate from God, this terrible mistake about yourself, the miracle corrects as gently as a loving mother sings her child to rest. Is not a song like this what you would hear? Would it not answer all you thought to ask, and even make the question meaningless? Paragraph 9. 2 more paragraphs. Your questions have no answer, being made to still God's voice, which asks of everyone one question only. Are you ready to help? Are you ready yet to help me save the world? That's the only question that God asks. Ask this instead of what the ego is, and you will see a sudden brightness cover up the world the ego made. No miracle is now withheld from anyone. The world is saved from what you thought it was. And what it is wholly uncondemned and wholly pure. Now that you're practicing forgiveness, the whole world is saved because you're the one that condemned it. And the last paragraph, 10, the miracle forgives, the ego damns. There's our whole course of miracles right there. The miracle forgives, the ego damns. Neither need be defined except by this. Yet could a definition be more sure or more in line with what salvation is? Problem and answer lie together here, and having met at last, the choice is clear. Who chooses hell when it is recognized? Who chooses hell when you recognize it's hell? To see sin in your brothers and sisters, that's hell. And who would not go on a little while when it is given him to understand the way is short and heaven is his goal? We've got a short way to go to heaven, don't we? Just practice our lesson today. If our lesson really expresses it well. I will not hurt myself again today. Okay, well, let's see. What else is going on around the world today? It's actually the Day of the Covenant in Bahai. We talked about it yesterday. I think it probably began at sundown yesterday and it's all day today, until sundown probably. Blase Day, for you unimpressed because of repeated observing. I looked it up just for me. What is blase? Anyway, there's always something to observe. I wouldn't encourage you to follow Blase Day in the sense of being discouraged. Anyway, I found these on holidays and observances. International Hat Day. It might be a good day for me to put my hat on. Wind's kind of blowing. Parfait Day, and which is ice cream and fruit basically. I always like just using yogurt and fruit, whether it's frozen or not. Either way, I like fruits and yogurt. And I usually eat vegan yogurt myself, made out of coconut or made out of nut butters like almond, or you make almond nut yogurt and cashew nut butter yogurt. Shopping Reminder Day, I guess get ready for Christmas, huh? International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. And I think we could probably just say it ought to be the elimination of violence against anybody. If we do our lesson, it will be. I will not hurt myself again today. Why? Let us this day accept forgiveness as our only function. That's why. And then out of Seed Savers Exchange, we've got another brassica family. It's the Rucola salvatica, that's its Latin name. Sylvetta, also known as wild rocket, it's an arugula. Also known as wild rocket, a wild variety of arugula, smaller and slower to bolt than most cultivated sorts, with tasty and more deeply serrated leaves. 45 days. And that's from the Seed Savers Exchange. Okay, was there anything else? Our word for peace today is out of the a small island in the Pacific known as Nauru. Nauru, is that how you pronounce it? I'm not exactly sure. I probably should have looked that up. N-A-U-R-U. Nauru. Anyway, the word for peace out of the Nauruan language is Io. So Io be with you today. Peace be with you. Okay, well, let's close with our song once again. Thank you all so much for joining me here at Monk Mounds, at the base of it. I'm on the east side, if that makes anybody, you'll know where it's at. It's kind of like the Spiro Mounds, which you've seen me do some recordings at the Spiro Mounds before too. I will not hurt myself again today. I will not hurt myself again today. Let us this day accept forgiveness as our only function. Why should we attack our minds and give them images of pain? Why should we teach them they are powerless, that they are powerless? When God holds out His power and His love, His power and take what is already theirs. The mind that is made willing to accept God's gift has been restored to spirit, been restored to spirit, and extends its freedom and its joy, extends its freedom and its joy, as is the will of God united with its own. The self which God created cannot sin and therefore cannot suffer. The self which God created cannot sin and therefore cannot suffer. Let us choose today that He be our identity, and thus escape forever from all things the dream of fear appears to offer us. I will not hurt myself again today. I will not hurt myself again today. Father, your Son cannot be hurt. Father, your Son cannot be hurt. And if we think we suffer, we but fail to know our one identity. We but fail to know our one identity we share with you. We would return to it today. We would return to it to be made free forever from all mistakes, and to be saved from what we thought we were. I will not hurt myself again today. I will not hurt myself again today. And why? Because let us this day accept forgiveness as our only function. I will not hurt myself again today. I will not hurt myself again today. I will not hurt myself again today. Thanks again for joining me here on this brisk November day in front of Monk Mound, Cahokia Mounds, right outside of Collinsville, Illinois. And our word for peace again from the Nauruan from Nauru Islands in the Pacific. They're up there south of the Marshall Islands. And the word is Io. So Io be with you. Peace be with you. I will not hurt myself again today. Io.